Hello, we are recording the Monster Hunter Wilds tier list of all the monsters in Monster Hunter Wilds.
Get ready for some based opinions. I
Yeah.
low key though, I feel like there are definitely going to be some monsters where you and I are just like not like following the mainstream thoughts of them.
Oh, I mean, I can already tell you at least one of them.
At least one of them, yeah. So are we just gonna go in order down the line,
May
like
as well. This
starting
looks
with
like it's
Catacabra?
in. Yeah, it looks like it's in quest order, so, like, that just makes the
Okay.
most sense. Well, I say in quest order aside from, like, the dudes at the end that you literally don't have a quest to fight, so, like, what?
Right, right.
In that case, why the fuck is Fulgur Engine Athel? Okay, I'm not gonna ask questions. I'm not paid enough to do that. Alright, so we're starting with the,
Right.
the, the, the silly frog.
Oh, Silly Frog is easily in the goated tier. I love
Now,
Catacabra. I think he is a goated start monster. I
but here's
if
my
I had
question for you.
Mhm.
Do you think he's better than something like Great Jagras or Great Macau? Is my question.
So
Because I
I
personally hold
think
those as like the best. Like that's like
okay.
the gold standard for at least me personally.
Okay, no, that's fair. Okay. So I guess if we do a comparison in that sense, he would
Mm-hmm.
be in the D colon tier.
Sure, sure.
But my thinking is like so like Wilds was meant to be like the newest new age Monster Hunter to try and also get a new crowd in here.
Right.
I feel that Chatacabra is very easy, but also has stuff that is just difficult enough for a hunter for like a brand new hunter to be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think in terms of like what a new age Monster Hunter is, he is like borderline perfect.
this is true, and he is very good for firstly for mechanics wise because he does have like the sticky arms thing, which is pretty unique for a starting monster. But also
Very
he's very
unique.
good for learning like power clashes and offsets and what do you call that shit?
Yeah.
The wounding mechanic. So I think that's fair. And
Mhm.
plus, like I'm still having a lot of fun fighting him even at the end of the game. So like
Right.
I'd say it's a good sign.
Yeah, and he's definitely like he's fun to beat up, but he's also like a good practice dummy for you to like learn stuff on, like
Exactly.
regardless.
Exactly.
No, he definitely goes there.
Um. So Cumatries, Cumatris, Quamatris,
Chris, I don't know.
Quawovo.
Quavovo?
I like him a lot. Like I like him a lot, but I would not put him like anywhere near my top five brute wyverns.
Oh gosh, no.
Like like I've
Mostly
said,
because
oh go ahead, go ahead.
God. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say like I've said, I've liked that him and Rampopolo are kind of like what's the word contemporaries for Baroth, like just nice low rank, easy tier brute wyverns. I do like
Hmm.
that feature a lot,
Hmm.
and I mean honestly, I don't really have a ton to say about Cumatrice. I think he's cool,
Yeah, no, he's definitely cool. He's kind of boring to fight,
a little bit.
but his design is really cool.
It
Um,
is. I mean, I don't want to put him in like the exists tier, but I don't know if he's like a colon D guy either.
why don't we put him in exists for now?
Okay.
See how the list starts building, and then
Yeah,
maybe we can move him to like the bottom of colon D or something.
that's fair.
Lala Barina, easy colon D. Oh,
That's
she's so good.
See, that's exactly what I was thinking. Because firstly, like Nursilla, one of my favorite monsters, still my favorite
Yep.
spider. Lalabrina does not compare, unfortunately. Like it's
Mhm.
still a pretty wide gap. Also, I'll be honest with you. While I do like that Lalabrina is a nice new low rank spider, low tier spider, I am a little bit or was a little bit disappointed with her fight. I was kind of expecting more from what they were showing in the trailers, admittedly.
No, totally fair.
Which I
I think she's very unique. I love the ballerina aspect of her and like her
yes,
I love the like skittery movements she has, like
yeah, those are
very
good.
yeah, very bug-like movements, but it's definitely an underwhelming fight for sure. Design is amazing, but
Yeah, she
fight
looks great. Fight is, but she does spice
yeah.
up the Scarlet Forest a lot.
Oh, for sure.
Well, fuck
Hello.
me. Oh, look, we're gonna start the whole thing over. No, I'm kidding. Okay. First returning monster, Mr. Kongalala. Um, But I'll let you open with it because I know you like him a lot. Go crazy. Go stupid mode.
Man, not bad.
Wait, like actually?
Actually,
Really?
I
I'm a
yeah,
little surprised.
I like him.
Yeah.
Again, as I mentioned earlier, boring fight. And like I know Alex has this opinion of, you know, Brat Monkey. Like it is funny. It's a little silly, like
Yeah,
in a negative connotation.
that's fair.
Um, Especially when there's two other monkeys in this game that are like way better personally. I
That's
think he just falls in men not bad. He's definitely not in the same tier as like Chemitress would be for me.
yeah.
He's not poop from a butt,
Brian.
no pun intended, but
Funny.
he's not that great.
Yeah. I'd have to agree. Like I mean, the first time I fought it was in GU, and honestly, I mean, aside from the novelty of fighting a monster I hadn't fought before, I wasn't super impressed.
Mhm.
For the most part, like the rest of the returning monsters, he's super faithful to the old versions, which I think is nice. But I mean,
Mhm.
it's still not doing a ton to me.
Yeah.
Or he is doing a ton to me, unfortunately, but ton for me, not so much.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Hey,
Agree.
all right, so Leviathan, weird
I'll let,
sand fella.
I'll let you start with this. I feel like we're gonna have a similar opinion.
He's okay. Like I feel like he's a little bit forgettable, but I
Hmm.
don't mind him. I like fighting him when he shows up. For the love of God and all that is good, Capcom needs to fix that fucking bug where he goes in circles on the cliff. So help me.
Oh, does he still do that?
I don't know if he like still does it as of the recent like event quest updates, but he was still doing that in the base game in the released game.
Yeah, bad.
It's very bad, very bad. I mean, as far as like, God, like early tier Leviathans, there's not like a ton of those. It's like Somnicanth and like Royal Ludrith. Honestly, I think I'd put him in the men not bad tier. Like he's not great, but he's not awful. Like he's not. He's just kind of
Agree.
yeah. He's
I can tell you one thing that would, and this kind of goes into like our Dosharguma talk
sure.
coming up here.
Mm-hmm.
But I can definitely say one thing that would at least put them up into the exists tier,
Yeah,
and it would be if they actually functioned as pack monsters and there was an alpha version.
that would be very cool.
Yep, that would be like something that would be peak.
Yeah.
Cause and it's like crazy because they definitely start the game like there's a ton of them, right?
Right.
Like they start the game, you're running from like 80 of them,
Yeah.
right? There's like one other part of the game where there's like a cutscene where there's like 80 of them, but there's never more than one or two on the map at a time.
Right. I think honestly, like another pack Leviathan would have been interesting because we have like again, like Royal Ludrith has the pack mechanics, but like having like a pack of sand sharks kind of thing going on would have been kind of sick. And a
Hmm.
pack of sand sharks that aren't Cephadrome would have been fantastic.
Hmm. Agree.
Yeah. So I mean, I want to say like wasted potential maybe. I don't know. He's okay. He's an
Yeah,
all
he's
right
he's okay.
fella.
He's okay.
So for Dashugama, do we want to rate this as just like regular ass Dashugama, or do we want to go off alpha? I mean, there's not like a ton of difference, but
Um, I let's say like let's go off alpha
fair enough.
because that's definitely like the primary fight
Right, the
that
definitive.
right. You're not gonna find me fighting like regular ass Doshagama much.
Right.
Tempered Doshagama is actually just alpha Doshagama. It doesn't say it, but
Oh,
it
really?
is.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. When you fight it, it does the exact same shit that alpha does.
I guess that
Um,
makes sense, but
and he's huge.
sure.
Um, I would say it's definitely minimum exists here.
Yeah. Mm,
Um,
I want to argue
be
for colon D solely because he is still infinitely better than like Arzuros and the others that were
Oh no,
in that
entirely fair. Like I said,
that
he's
class.
minimum exists here. There's no
Yeah.
lower he can fall.
Yeah, like he's no
Um,
Gosharog for me, but he's a lot more impactful than I thought he was gonna be from the trailers. Like I like him a lot more than I thought
yep.
I would.
And a lot of my opinion stems from like the beta.
Hmm.
So, fighting him with, super low gear and like actually making it like a 20-minute hunt,
Yeah,
like actually learning his moveset and like how to fight him like efficiently, like when you're kind of in that kind of corner
yeah,
was super peak. I feel like is like if we look at the list here,
yeah.
you know, Balahara was, our new hardest, quote unquote, right? And then we get to
Yes.
Yep, and then we get to Alpha Deshaguma, and then he is like
A
he's a
beast.
step up. Yeah, he's a step up. Like he hurts, right? Like obviously like not my first faint, of course.
Yeah.
We get to that later. But he hurts and like really makes you have to start like I don't know, playing the game for real.
Yeah. I do
And
want to
he's
say, oh, go. Yeah, he is. I want to say him taking a clip out of Peter Jackson's Kong movie and ripping that Balahara's mouth in half. Like that definitely gives him some extra points for
Oh
me.
yeah.
That was a
Oh
cool
yeah.
cutscene.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because that was the Alpha Deshagama's cutscene where like he gets
Mm-hmm.
buried in the sand and like busts back out of it.
And it
Oh
is
yeah, no.
incredible.
Easy colon D tier. Like literally because of that. Yep, right up in there. Oh yeah,
Uh,
super super good.
all right, so Uth Duna, opinions, yeah,
Yep.
Anyways, Rum Papa.
Yep.
Let's talk
Easy,
about Uth
easy.
Duna. Let's at least talk about her. What is there to talk about? She's great. Like I,
She is fantastic. In terms of the apexes,
yeah,
as like we've talked about our lists.
yeah,
She's definitely like my easy second favorite. Like
I would agree with
she
that.
she is so good. I love the mantle thing she has going for her.
Yeah, that's a lot less annoying than I would have expected. Honestly, it
It's
works.
very unique. I feel like I can't think of too many other monsters that have a system like that. At
The
least
closest
at
thing
least
off
off
the
the top of my
top of my
head.
head would be something like weirdly enough, like Lavasioth or Agnactor with a lava armor.
That or like Nergigante,
True.
like Ruiner.
Yeah, the spikes. Yeah, I can kind of see
Mhm.
that.
But even then it wasn't like that did like a whole lot in terms of like defense,
Right. There's just more
right?
spots to whack on.
Yeah, so it was really cool that she has something that like protects her, makes her look fucking cool as shit.
Right.
Is basically just a water cloak, and yeah, it's super good, and it's also not obnoxious either. Like it's not like it's cutting my damage down to 25%, and
Yeah.
it takes 100 million years to knock it off. Like it's coming back like 2-3 times in the hunt,
Yeah.
right? You're knocking that shit off.
Yes.
Yeah, she is super super good and like very good looking, very good fight. Like I feel like everything about her is just like oh, mwah, chef's kiss.
Absolutely. I've never fought Cedius, which was from 3U and 3, I
Okay.
believe. I can't remember. He's a big whale elder dragon. I've never personally fought him, but he's one of those big, siege type monsters, one of those just really fucking big guys.
Hmm.
But Uthduna, like, I just as a comparison, like, she puts the feeling of fighting a whale into my mind. Like, just her size and
Mm,
how she moves. It's just like, dude, I'm fucking Captain Ahab. That white whale's gotta go, you know?
yep,
Like,
yep,
it's some good shit. Like, I wish her weapons didn't have negative affinity, and that's honestly the worst thing I can say about her. As like,
yeah,
it's genuine, fantastic monster.
yeah, very fair.
Uh, Rumpopopolo. How we feeling on our sticky
Exists.
slimy boy? Really, you think?
He go, he go. He's definitely between exists and colon D.
Sure.
Um, I think his fight is a little underwhelming, but I love the. I would. Yep, exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I think the mechanic he has where he blows his like gas bubbles into the oil to do damage at a range is super super cool.
it is. I would agree.
But otherwise, I mean, he's just a brute wyvern. Like he's got the brute wyvern fight. He just looks silly,
Yeah, I mean, fair
and
enough.
and and he does poison.
I mean, he does poison. This is a little annoying. Yeah, I mean, like aside from Fulgur and Janeth, I mean, the other two brutes are pretty bog standard, unfortunately. But I mean, at least they're unique in their own ways. I mean, they're not just Bareth who charges. I mean,
Yes,
they
exactly.
because like while I love
Or
Anjanath, he is pretty basic as far as the simpler brute wyverns go. So at least these guys, they got like a cool mechanic going with them.
mhm. Yep. And there's another thing about Bareth that like I hate so much, and it's the fact that he's just made of rock. There's no soft spots on that motherfucker. Like you're never gonna break his head. Like ugh.
I think I could probably count on one hand out of all the thousands of hours I put in this franchise. I've actually like broken off like his head chine thingy.
The crown? Yeah,
Yeah,
nope, exactly.
miserable
Same.
experience. Uh Ray Dow. How are we feeling about Ray Dow?
Colin D's here.
Calling D tier. That's kind of what
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
no,
Because like Uthuna, goaded. Ray Dow kind of flip flops between him and New Udra for me.
I still like Raydal a lot. like still like him a lot from like the beta days and stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
just, I definitely just feel like he is a lot obviously a lot easier now that we have gear to actually like keep up with him.
right.
But like design wise, he's super cool. I
He
love the way he
is.
sounds. I like the way he sounds is amazing.
Pots and pans.
Uh, yeah, pots and pans. His theme is fucking fantastic. Like when you're fighting him, when you're chasing him,
Yeah,
like he is very, very good. He's very good.
he is. I mean, like even just putting him in this like below Utuna, like he's still like a solid 8 out of 10. Like,
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
I
it's just
definitely
like
get the
you're
idea
comparing,
across. It's like he's still fantastic. It's just
right.
not
You're just
as.
comparing an 8 out of a 10 to a 9 out of 10. Like
Yeah,
it's just how it goes.
yeah.
Yeah, he's really good. I'll let you hold down the Nursilla talk because I know you love her. Not I wouldn't say way more than me type thing, but like she has a more special place in your heart than she does for me.
She's my pretty baby. um, God, I don't even know what I can say about her that I haven't said in the past. Like, I love this monster to death. And again, like all the returning monsters. Well, I don't want to say all the returning monsters because the wraths are a little bit different. But like, aside from the wraths, they're all super super faithful to the old versions. And I love the old Nursilla fight. I go back to GU periodically just to fight Nursilla exclusively because I fucking love this monster to death.
Mhm.
Um, I love. I mean, I love slash hate that they added the baby Nursillas because on one hand it's a super cool addition. On the other hand, it's referencing the Monster Hunter movie, which deserves never to be mentioned. And also they're really creepy, which I'm just like, ugh. But every time they come out, but
The-
like
You know
she's
what my
just
other
really
complaint about the
good.
babies
She's
is?
really good. What's up?
Oh, my one complaint about the babies is that when you get to the nest and there's all the babies in there,
Yeah.
you get stuck in like a full 2 seconds of hit stun when you're trying to attack the monster because you're getting hung up on all the stupid babies.
1 million Nursilla
Yeah,
babies.
right. As a greatsword player, that shit is obnoxious.
I don't know, as a dual blades player, dude, I feel like a blender. I'm like one of those old freaking like ninja like pro blender things from the infomercials, dude.
Right.
I can grind, I can slash, I can do it all.
On a completely separate note, my cat, in which who was just like snoring like an absolute motherfucker, is
Oh,
now suddenly in the other room. I have no idea what she just did.
snore
Oh,
reported.
I've been fooled. It was not the cat I thought that was snoring. The other one.
No. Anyways, I would feel comfortable putting Nursilla in S tier, Groden tier. I
Yeah.
mean like subjectively possibly my favorite monster of like all time. I adore her. I adore her gear, everything about her. I, I love the monster. I got a massive bias. Like I won't even lie to you. Like
You can put her in Groden. I definitely won't say she's anything lower than Cole and D. She's good.
she's very
She
good.
and like they always do so good with those like spidery monsters.
They do. We're hitting 3 for 3 so far. I mean, keep it up, guys. A little round of applause for you.
Oh, I can't clap. It's not coming through my Discord.
Hilarious. Um, yeah, that one's
Look
next.
from a butt.
Yeah.
Ah, hello.
I mean, you're.
Where your
Oh,
thing
Jesus
popped up.
Christ. Wait, hold up. What was it?
Yeah, your thing keeps popping up.
Oh, it's not popping up on the recording. Thank God.
Oh, that's good. It's popping up on Discord. That's good. Good, good, good. Okay. Um, do you want me to start? Do you want to start?
I mean, you're the range player. I feel like you probably get more enjoyment out of
Still hate
that.
it.
Yeah.
Still hate it. I definitely do not like I like the design.
Yeah.
I like the design a lot. I also like the armor. I really like the armor.
The armor's pretty.
Um, yep.
Just didn't expect it to be
I
Chinese.
I of the pack monsters, of which we only have like three, I think it is definitely the weakest,
Oh, it's
the most
miserable.
annoying.
It
And it
if it was
the
smaller
only
versions, that might be something. But just 3 full-size Hirabami is actually the worst thing in the whole game. Like just hands down.
and obviously the biggest complaint is that it just stays in the air like the
Yep.
entire fight, right? Like for the most part. But the part that's more annoying about it being in the air isn't the fact that it's in the air,
Yeah.
because there are monsters like Rathalos and Rathian who also stay in the air. However, they are just high enough off the ground that I can still hit them.
Right. No,
Hirabami
that's
is in the clouds, and the only person that's hitting them is the range player. And even then, when you play something like Bowgun or like if God forbid you're a light Bowgun player, you're still gonna struggle to hit it because light Bowgun's range is so like the window to hit good is very small,
Yeah,
and also the range is not that great either.
right.
So unless you're playing like bow or heavy bowgun, like you're not going to be doing optimal damage to that monster in the slightest.
That is fair. Because I mean, you weren't playing light bowgun at the time when we first fought it for like
No.
the quest, but I know for a fact that you probably did like you alone on bow probably did like 3/4 of the damage to this damn thing because I couldn't do anything with dual blades like unless it was down and had like a wound on its tail or something like I genuinely could not hit it because of how high up it was like it was untouchable like
Right. And even if we bring up like flash pods, or something of the sort, like flash pods are only good for like twice,
yeah
right? Like after that, they're less effective and they literally don't fall down.
yeah.
Like it's just,
And
yeah,
honestly, dude, like I do like his design, but as far as like Leviathans go, it's kind of underwhelming.
yeah. Sorely disappointed in it because I like of the monsters that were revealed, was excited.
Yeah,
Um, Looked very cool. Was very eager to see how that flushed out, but it just ended up not being that good.
it could have been a big centipede monster, but no.
Ugh. Ugh.
Okay, are we gonna talk about the great ape in the room, dude? Like, is there
Oh, the
any
great ape in the room. Oh man, I
like
freaking love this monkey.
he's good? He's very very good.
They did not need to go so crazy. Like if Garangolm didn't exist, he'd easily be my second favorite monkey of all time.
That's
Like
fair.
he is very, very good. Colon D tier
That's fair.
minimum.
That's fair.
Like he's up in there. He is good.
I
I
mean,
don't even have much to say.
no, it's fair. I mean, honestly, dude, like I'm looking at this, like every monster in this game as of like as of right now. I
Mhm.
I think he genuinely might be my favorite fight in the game. Like I really like fighting him whenever I have to. Like
Yeah.
he's solid. He's really really solid.
A couple of like specific things I really like about his fight.
Yeah.
Um Especially at least from like a monkey standpoint.
Hmm.
I love that he isn't just punch, punch, punch.
Yeah.
Like a lot of like Rajang, right? Like he's got that Rajang build, like big beefy monkey that looks like he's just gonna like absolutely just like gorilla ape you to death, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't just punch. He doesn't just flop, 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 right? Like
Yeah.
he does that shit where he digs his shoulder into the ground and like football tackles you.
Yeah.
His supernova is absolutely insane.
I
He
love how
fucking
he
sonic
aims that shit,
pinballs into the
dude.
ground. Yes.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
Ah, no,
I'm
they popped off with this monster, and he's a blast fire monster.
which
Who doesn't love that?
that's also great. Considering the last base Monster Hunter game we got that had just a monkey, he's definitely winning over Bishitten, that's for sure.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
And I like
No,
that
he is.
he's not like the other monkeys because like all the other monkeys aside from like Quechawacha and Bishitten, like I guess Angarangolm, but like like your Gen 2 monkeys, your Blangongas and Congolalas and Rajangs are all based on like a similar type of monkey. Now this dude's got more of like a Mandarin type face. Like he's more of a baboonish type monkey inspiration, which is cool.
Right. I also like the fact that he isn't just a monkey. Like all the other ones are like a night like a mammal, right?
Yeah.
Like, but this dude is like covered in scales and like
He's got
again
like
does like
the
fucking fire and explosions. Like
he's like the like a Oni from Japanese mythology and all that.
exactly. And then like that comes into like where his like armor designs and weapon designs are also like it's super freaking sick. Like
This
no,
entire
he's
monster is an Ashura's Wrath reference.
so fair. No, but he's very good. Very, very good.
All right, so how are we feeling about our our certified cephalopod representative, Rathalos of the
Um
Squids?
the Rathalos of the Squids is in exists tier personally.
You really think so? That far down, huh?
I definitely wouldn't put him any lower.
Yeah.
Unless he was at the very top of the previous tier. But I similar to Harambe at the bottom there. Um, he just was disappointing. Like
Yeah.
he looks cool. Don't get me wrong. I love his design. I love how he looks in his fight. His fight is kind of boring. And
Yeah.
one of the things that like we talked about with him Like I told you, I talked to Jason about this, and we talked about it together as well.
Mhm.
He doesn't do his grab unless like it's just me and you that are just like grab haters and like he just doesn't do it. But the one thing that they showed off in that trailer, which again could just be like poorly justified, you know how people blow trailers out of proportion.
Yeah.
We could be doing the exact same thing. But the one thing that they showed off in that trailer was him doing his grab.
Yep.
That was the thing. The hunter getting grabbed in there and trying to stab his way out was we were all like, that's insane. That's isn't seen before, and he just doesn't do it. He
I,
doesn't do it.
I almost wonder if it's like a bug or something, because I have definitely been pinned by other monsters. I mean, Arkfeld and Gore Magala have both gotten me multiple times,
Yeah.
but New Udra, he's chilling. Bro's chilling. Like
Yeah.
I'm sitting in between all of his tentacle armpits, beating the crap out of him, and he's just taking it.
Yep.
It's just like
I like, and in terms of stuff I like, let me not say that like I hate this monster because I do not hate this monster. I really like again, cephalopod, right? Like
yeah,
octopus in a Monster Hunter game is really really cool. Like be like completely real here.
yeah.
Um,
Long time coming,
I like,
honestly.
yep, I like how he looks. I like when he's blue and glowy. I like when he's on fire. I think he looks cool. I like that he does the cephalopod thing of just like I'm leaving now and just leaves through a crack in the wall.
It's good.
I think that's really cool. I like that his little home base down at the bottom of the area is a little pot that's like off to the side, and he just like
Yeah,
makes his home in there. I think that's really cool. I think he's got a lot of cool stuff for him, but I just think he is way underwhelming, and I'm not sorely disappointed. I think I said earlier that I was. I'm not sorely disappointed,
sure.
but I am definitely a lot more disappointed with him than like I wanted to be.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll get like a better version in Master Rank or a cool subspecies or something.
Yeah, yeah, that would be completely fine with me.
Yeah, because I definitely like him. I think he's my preferred out of the two right now. But like, neither one of them kind of hit the way I wanted to, and that's coming from like the lifelong cephalopod guy. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, like, they're very cool, but they're also like in the exact middle of like every monster that's ever existed for me.
Yep.
They're perfectly okay. They're passable.
I guess this is the part where I have to embarrassingly admit that he was my first faint.
Was he?
Yeah,
Oh, dang,
yeah, it was just a bad situation. Definitely got caught lacking, but
yeah, it happens.
uh, um, yeah. Oh, I want to backtrack real quick though, and I want to talk
Yep.
about a Jargon again real quick.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, this is literally just like an off thing, but I
He's
low key
so
hope
cool.
he's so cool. I low key really hope that the subspecies he get is an ice variant, and I really hope that we get like a white and blue colored a Jargon because
God, that'd
that
be
would
crazy.
be so good.
It would be so good.
It'd be so good. That was it.
I'm just thinking what they. I mean, now you got me on the track of thinking, it's like, I wonder what kind of monster they can make out of a jar. You're sending me down my rabbit hole, dude.
Yep.
Can't just
Yep.
be saying shit like that.
My fault, MG.
um, can we just agree to put this thing in exists?
Put him one step above New Urdra.
Really?
I like him. I like him.
I mean,
I mean, it's
you have
I like
positive things to say
Oshiguma.
about him. He left no impact on me. Like, I
That's fair. I mean, like, there isn't. I don't like his weapons.
Yeah.
Like, the weapons are bad.
very much
Just
so.
like statistically.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
are
remember what his
garbage.
armor does, but I like how they look.
Yeah,
I think they look really cool. Like the greatsword is, oh my god, it's so cool.
right.
Um, I like how his armor looks. Um, and I also like kind of like the thought of like, so, like I know like Guardians in general, you're like a little like whatever about, and I'm not talking so much like about the like Guardian like lore part of it, but more
Yeah,
like how they act. I like Doshiguma as like base Doshiguma
yeah,
because it's like that first monster that's like kind of scary, right? Like
yeah,
is like looking to rip you in half, but again, in more of a like you're beating me up and now I have to protect myself. I'm gonna rip you in half.
yeah,
I like Guardian Doshiguma because it shows a like raw, unfiltered, I'm here to kill you Doshiguma.
yeah.
And he's fucking scary, dude.
Maybe I need to
He
refight him. I think I've only fought him once because, like, after that first fight, I mean, in my defense
there's no reason
here,
to.
we hit up freaking Guardian Rathalos immediately after him, and that motherfucker leaves a goddamn impression.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, and that very well could be it. And like I'm definitely not gonna say like your opinion is invalid because I'm not saying that.
no, sure. Like, I mean, I
I'm
don't hate him. I'm just like kind of
right.
on him. Like, he's not regular Doshiguma for me. Like, that
Right.
guy is ingrained in my brain forever.
Right. And it's like even if he was in colon D tier, right?
Yeah.
He's not better than a Jarkon. He's
Nope.
not better than Ray Dow, and he's
Nope.
not better than base like Toshiguma. Like so, it's like where he is there, like is fine, is fine. He is good. Yep, perfect.
Yeah, I mean, this is like hardly organized at all, but like, yeah, these I do kind of like fighting these guys more than her. I haven't touched her since I farmed her armor for low rank.
Yep, fair. Our high
Uh,
rank fight is pretty okay. It just lasts a little longer.
yeah, fair enough. Guardian Rathalos. I kind of want to put him in colon D.
Yep, nope, perfect.
Like,
One step above Lalabarina, right below a Jarkon. Yeah, he was very good. That was your first feint, right?
yep, that was my first fight.
That was a lot of people's first feint I saw.
Yeah, because my dumbass got too comfortable in the armor I was wearing. I was like, I should probably upgrade this soon. But like, one more fight probably won't be a problem, and then it was a problem.
And then it was fucking Rathalos of all problems.
Yeah, yeah,
No, and like I'm gonna go into the exact same thing I just talked about with Doshiguma.
yeah,
When you fight a Rathalos or a Rathian, it's you invading on their space, and they're mostly just defending themselves, right? They want you
yeah.
dead, but they want you dead for a different reason. The raw, unfiltered, I'm going to fucking kill you Rathalos fight was insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
I honestly, I think it might. I don't want to say it's my favorite version of Rathalos because I still really, really like Silver Rathalos, but like
Mhm.
it's close. I've heard good things about Dread King. I've never gotten to fight him myself, but like I don't know, this dude was really, really cool, and actually for the first time in like 4 or 5 years, actually made me scared of a Rathalos. So like,
Yep. Yep. No, huge agree. And there's not even a whole lot more to say than that. Like he was good. He was very,
yes.
very good.
So do we even need to say anything about Jindahad? Like,
Throated tier.
like
Oh, he's so good. Yep.
yeah, sorry. He's my favorite monster this generation so far. He's
He
fucking awesome.
I don't know if I can say my favorite, but he is up there. He's so good.
He is so good. I love that he's like a pseudo siege monster. Like it's a really cool.
Mhm.
Like they implemented the mechanics really really well.
Yep. I thought it was really cool that they did him, that they had the like Sappy Jiva type supernova where you gotta hide behind a rock.
Yeah,
As annoying as it was when you're doing the true fight later in the game. Um,
I think you
but
can
I
actually
thought,
survive through that. By the way, I saw a video of like some people like
oh yeah,
perfect countering with great sword and then popping off with like 4 true charge slashes or something.
people can do that. You can dodge through it with a bow, which
Really,
means you could probably also dodge. Yeah, you can dodge through it with a bow. You could probably dodge through it with dual blades.
man, that'd be a really
If you
tight
can do it with
window.
bow. Yeah. So
Crazy.
it's definitely an option, but I still think like at its base, like doing that was really really cool. But the breaking the scales or the plates off of him to
Yeah,
like weaken him over the period of the fight was really really good. No,
and it
just
doesn't feel
everything about
intrusive
him.
either. Like
Yep.
it doesn't feel like all MMO-y like Safi Jiva was. It's just like, okay, he's at this point, you break this part and do a wound attack, and it's simple, it breaks, and then you move on to the next bit. It's just like it
Yep.
flows really really well.
Oh, and let's talk about so the one thing like that I did not like about Safi Jiva as a like siege monster was the targeting system that he has,
Yes,
where he just rolls a dice and locks onto somebody, and you have
usually
no
me.
way to change that. Yeah, right, for real. But you have I say air quotes no way to change that. Somebody could pop up in your comments and be like, actually," but like there, from what we noticed, was not an easy, consistent way to change who it was locked onto. But for Jin Dahad, it was you get targeted when you are the one that like damages a plate,
Yeah,
right? You do a bunch of damage to a plate or break it, right?
yeah,
And then guess what? If somebody else does a bunch of damage to a plate or breaks it, guess who he's targeting? That one.
yeah.
Like there was nothing random about it. You always knew how and when it was going to happen, and then you could either like prepare for that in the future or play around that when it happens. It was I like that a lot. They did a very good job at that targeting system.
Absolutely. I will say, just as a minor asterisk here, you could actually change who Safio's targeting by doing a clutch claw attack, like by shooting rocks into his face.
You had a chance to because
Oh,
I
was it not
definitely
100%?
no, because I definitely
Oh,
very clearly remember that there were times where like it was locked onto you. You were not doing so hot in the fight. I jump up on the freaking face, shoot a bunch of rocks into it, and nothing happened.
huh. I always thought that was a consistent thing. I never realized.
Nope,
Hmm.
nope. Yeah, and I think it was from our most recent playthrough, like when we were playing through ice and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
definitely, yeah. But no, Jindahad, Grodded, absolutely fucking fantastic monster.
Yeah. One thing I would have liked to have seen is like I don't know if you noticed, but he kind of had like a heat sink thing going on to freeze himself. Like he'd like get real glowy and then freeze over. I
Mm.
almost wish they pulled from a controversial monster here. I don't know if you know this one. Eruzerion is a half ice, half fire elder dragon from Frontier that everybody fucking hates.
Oh, how'd you spell that?
Eruzerion, I think. He looks cool, but yeah, fight is rough. I almost wish like Jindahad had like two elements and like swapped into fire for the last phase or something. Like after you broke all of his like what do you want to call him? Like his temperature controller gauges or whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah, like he switched to fire because he didn't have a way to control the ice anymore.
Yeah, like I think
Oh
that could have been
yeah,
a little cool.
that would be cool.
But
But
like as is, he's
you
fantastic. Like
we don't have any true siege monsters yet. There is a chance that like maybe we get like a like this is Jin Dahad, but like we also had Xena Jiva turn into Safi Jiva.
that's
We
true.
could have like a more mature Jin Dahad that's
That'd be
cool like that.
crazy.
I'm looking at this design for Erzerion, and this is a fucking sick ass looking monster. Like, can
Oh,
I
a
be
hundred
honest here?
percent. No, he looks
Holy
great. I
shit.
love his design. It's definitely very MMO and probably not fit for mainline Monster Hunter. But like I don't think I've ever actually heard anyone say anything positive about the fight because it is a bitch, just a nightmare to do.
Right.
Dude hits like a fucking truck. I mean, he's from like the past like post master rank G rank stuff, so a little bit why there, but that's a topic for another time after we spend 2 years playing through all of Frontier in the future, right?
Fair, fair,
Right.
fair, fair. Right.
So, Guardian Ebony Oderon. Um, it's still the exact same monster from World Iceborne.
Yep.
He's still good.
Yep. He's still good. He doesn't. He as a guardian monster, he definitely doesn't give off that like raw, unfiltered. I'm gonna kill the fuck out of you vibe.
Yeah,
Mostly because that was kind of the energy that Odegaard gave off anyway, because of him being like a predator.
yeah,
So it definitely was just Ebony Odegaard. Um, he like the high exists tier, low colon D tier. Like I like Odegaard.
yeah.
I think he was good. I was mostly excited that he was even in the game,
That is fair.
right?
That's kind of where I was at
I
too. I mean, that was
Yep,
one of the ones we didn't even know about, which was cool.
yep. Oh yeah, and like you remember my reaction, like there, it was like so cool that like we got into that quest. I said out loud before any dialogue even started, "Man, a Guardian Odegaard would go crazy here." And then like walking down into the hollow, or not the hollow, but into the area,
Yeah,
and Alma being like, "Well, what kind of like traits would a perfect sentry even need? Unrelenting and can track a monster down and would like blah 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 blah." And then your hunter's like, "That's." That's an Oda Garen. And then like literally like 2 seconds, like there he fucking is. Like,
dog.
it was so cool. But yeah, I mean it's still just Oda Garen. Like nothing crazy. Very good monster, but very, very run of the mill, very medium.
Yeah, I will say some things just to keep him in exist here because I got a friend who's a big fan of him on the app formerly known as Twitter, and she
Hmm.
pointed out in a tweet today that well, firstly, he doesn't really do the scavenging thing anymore, probably because he's a guardian monster, which that kind of sucks. It's a big part of his personality. But
Yeah.
also, bleed mechanic is just it's like practically non-existent in wilds.
Well, yeah, he's the only monster to do it.
Well, no, I don't mean like that he's the only monster to do it. I mean like I've had bleed multiple times in this fight. It's basically negligible. Like it does not matter.
Oh yeah,
Like
and
like
also like
any other status threatens you to some extent, and bleed in this game is just like okay. I've got
yeah.
slightly more annoying poison until the monster leaves. Like
I'm gonna say though, like I think that it might be an actual threat if I were fighting him one on one.
I mean, that's fair.
I feel that every time I got bleed,
Yeah,
his attention almost immediately went elsewhere, and I was able to just crouch for 2 seconds.
sure.
But like, if I was one on oneing him and all his attention was on me, I might have a little bit worse of a time dealing with it. But again, a stare jerky takes like 2 seconds to munch on.
Yeah.
Like,
Is there
if it
anything
really
like
comes
that in
out.
Wilds?
Like what? A stare? Yeah, a stare jerky's in the game.
Oh, is it really? I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, I think they might call it something else, but I only know that it's in the game because like when bleed gets introduced and the pop-up window comes on the side, it's like eat a stare jerky or
Equivalent.
crouch.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, good old Zhu. Where are we
Um,
feeling about him?
where are you feeling about him? Because I know that like my thoughts have not lined up with too many other people's so far. So I'll let you pick where you think he should go, and then we can go from there.
I definitely think if he was in exist, he'd be below New Udra. Don't get me wrong. Actually,
Hmm.
I'm gonna just because it's bothering my brain. Are we mad about this or is that okay?
Um, yeah, no, that's pretty all right.
Seems about line up. Yeah, he'd definitely be under New Udra. I mean, again, Cephalopod. He's got some cool, unique stuff going on, but he did not hit the way I would have liked him to. I kind of want to put him in meh, not bad, like top of that, but like I do. I love his design, like elements. I like that he's got the vampire squid thing going on, where he turns inside out to attack you. I like that he's got the Haster, the King in Yellow from Cthulhu mythos going on, which that's what's up with the weird head shape and the colors and mouth and stuff. You know, like that dude from Dark Souls. What's his name?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's where the inspiration from that is, and like it's cool. It's really cool. Yeah, the fight just it don't do a lot for me.
Doesn't hit.
It
Okay.
doesn't hit.
So we agree entirely.
Oh, beautiful.
Um, yeah, we agree entirely. I not that I don't care for him. It's like I do feel bad. I know a lot of people like this monster. A
Yes.
lot of people like this monster. I know Jason really likes the monster. I'm pretty sure Alex really likes the monster. Like these people like the monster. He just doesn't hit for me. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like he's really
I
cool, but like fighting him, I'm just kind of like I don't
yep,
really want to be
that's
here.
exactly it. I really liked how they introduced him.
Yeah.
You finished off Ebony Odegarin, and then like you're immediately thrown into his hunt right after
The
because
worst thing
he
you've ever seen in your entire life eats the corpse. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, like it was crazy, but
I will
he
say
just
points in his favor. The fact that Capcom introduced a brand new what do you want to call it, like classification of monster into the game, and then did a second one on top of that. Like they've never done that before.
okay, yeah, that's fair.
Well,
Yeah, no, that is
I mean, technically, I mean, they had like three monkeys when the monkeys were introduced, but like you know what I mean. Like there wasn't a second giant bug when Celtis came out, unless you want to count Celtis Queen as an entirely different thing. Wasn't
mhm.
another spider when Nursilla came out. You
Right,
know,
yeah, it was
like
always just like them and here they are.
yeah, unless it was like a mainline focus like Leviathans were, and then there was a bunch of them. But like yeah, no, them actually doing two cephalopods in one game. Like I'm surprised New Udra didn't get the Nursilla treatment and just be by himself forever.
Yep. Yeah, and like and the other thing too, like that I like about him, I really like that like he like crystallizes weapons off of his front two tentacles. I
Yes.
think that's cool. But otherwise, yeah, that's about it.
I think if he had a status, that might boost the fight a bit more, in my opinion. Like if he also did bleed or something,
Or if he did like defense down, like acidic glavinus.
and then he'd be like the perfect monster.
I don't know about that. I hate defense down, man. That shit sucks.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it does suck. It doesn't mean Glavinus is bad. Acidic Glavinus is cool.
All right, next monster.
It's Guardian Arkfeld. I mean, like, I kind of feel the exact same way I do about regular ass Arkfeld. I mean, it's practically the exact same fight, unless they like change stuff in high rank.
Okay. So let's use our brains.
Do we want to look at this from more of a
So
story angle instead, or
no, no, no,
no?
no.
No, no.
So I'm gonna look at this more in a comparison way, like
Mm-hmm.
Arkveld versus Garkveld. Um, I think Arkveld goes like top of the colon D tier.
Top of the goal.
personally.
Yeah, we can
I
put
mean,
it. Wait, you say Garkfeld or a regular Arkfeld?
Garkveld does
Garkfeld.
because I'm going to inevitably put Arkveld in Groated tier
Sure.
personally.
No, that sounds about right.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
But the reason that Guardian Arkveld falls just short is the fact that it is not Arkveld.
Nope.
So it does this thing where I like what they did with the story with him, right?
Yeah.
I like that it was, the Arkveld that broke free and, lived its own life and then went too much and we had to put it down, right?
Yeah.
I liked that. What I also really liked that they did was where, like, when you're fighting him the first time and you're just doing that quick repel quest,
Yeah.
how it looked like the way he was fighting was not true Arkveld. He didn't have his dual chain whips. He didn't have his dragon attack. He didn't have any of that stuff. He just was just kind of fighting you.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when in the finale fight when you actually have to slay him,
Yeah.
that's when like it was like halfway through that fight, he like awakens, if you will. The two chain blades come out. And then he, gets his dragon attack and then like is basically like the true Arkveld experience. But he doesn't have that the whole time, and he doesn't really have it when you're fighting him like in the open anyway either.
Yeah.
So he just falls short of what Arkveld is to me at least. So he's like high colon D because he's still an Arkveld, but he is not Groated tier because he's not the full-fledged experience.
Yeah, honestly, I can't even be mad about that. Yeah. No, that compelling argument. Very compelling argument. Like,
He's very good still. Like he's still very very good, but he's just not the best iteration. Doshiguma, move over.
Trying to fight. So, you ready to get controversial?
Oh boy.
I mean, we both know where this is going.
I know where it's going. I'm gonna let you hold the floor though.
You already know what it is.
Put it above Hirobami.
Put it. Do I have to?
Yes.
Fine. Whatever. Okay, so
talk about him.
World's number one Zoshia hater. Yeah, fucking crucify me for it. Whatever. Firstly, the biggest, weirdest thing about him, I don't care what comes in title updates. I don't care what comes in Master Rank. Right now, the final boss of Monster Hunter Wilds has no gear. It is weird, it is untraditional, and it gives me no reason to fight this monster. I like his fight, but it is not fun enough for me to justify spending the time to fight this monster while I'm getting absolute jack shit from fighting it. Like, there's just no reason for me personally. I have no reason to go back and fight that unless I'm like helping one of my friends through the story or something. Like, it just does not matter to me. So that's that. That's like the big thing I've seen people talking about. There it is, out in the open. I'm not a fan of that, because the whole thing of Monster Hunter is you fight monster, you get its gear, you fight next monster, and then there's this motherfucker totally breaking the chain. It's just like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, yeah, maybe there'll be a high rank one later. I don't care. Right now, in the present moment, March 14th, 2025, this motherfucker ain't got shit. So, there's that. Now, for the rough stuff, I think up until the introduction of Zoshia, Monster Hunter Wilds has the best story out of any Monster Hunter game to date. My problem with Zoshia isn't so much that he's a tacked-on final boss, which is their formula staple. It's the fact that he is still a tacked-on boss when they've built up so much story, and he just kind of shows up at the end. It feels like they've ran a marathon and they completely fell flat on the ending, because he just kind of shows up at the end to put a bow on everything. He's not mentioned. Like, the Dragon Torch is mentioned, like 2/3 through the way of the game. Nothing about Zoshia. That isn't mentioned until, like, well after, when the freaking All Harken's like, oh, by the way, they made some kind of super weapon that fucking nuked their civilization. Oops. Go kill it. It's like, okay, I guess we're doing this now.
Yep.
And I will say, tying that into my next point, it takes away everything that Arkveld was leading up to, I feel, in the story. Because like with Arkfeld, I do appreciate that he broke free of his artificial nature or her artificial nature, its artificial nature, whatever, and was able to live and reproduce on its own. I think that's really cool. But here's the thing. The apex monsters line up with the symbol of the game. Like the swirly dragon symbol, they line up with that. Arkfeld lines up with that. Arkfeld interacts with half of the fucking apexes in the game. Arkfeld was growing stronger and turning into something. They even had Gore Magala there, the classic mirror version of this thing, Black Eclipse, the freaking White Wraith, like they had the mirror symbolism. Gore Magala evolves into a stronger, more deadly monster. It seemed like Arkfeld was going that way, but then we kill it, and then Zoshia's just there? And, it totally takes, in my opinion, it takes the wind out of the sails. Like, it completely neuters the significance of the Arkfeld portion of the story. And especially because it has nothing to do with the Apexes either, and they were so significant in the story, and then there's just Guy at the end. And it's just like,
yeah,
y'all were right there. You evolved so much in your writing style, and you just fall back on what you've been doing for, like, the last 5 generations, the last 20 years of games.
I literally just now in this conversation thought of what they could do that would have been, like, infinitely better.
What's up?
So instead of Zoshia,
yeah,
it would have been whatever the, like, evolved version of Arkfeld is.
I was thinking it'd be like Unchained Arkfeld or something,
something like that, right? Like how like Shigeru Magala exists, right? Yeah. They very well could have done, like, we kill Arkfeld.
Yeah.
Like, it's dead, right, on the floor.
Yep.
And the energy from the Dragon Torch.
Yeah.
Like, enters it or something like that, right? Like, it absorbs that energy because we're right there, right? We are literally right there in the arena, like in the Dragon Torch arena.
Yeah.
And that energy, A, brings it back, and B, allows it to transcend into its final form, like its true unchained Arkfeld nature, whole new fight, whole new experience, like, and then that would have been like Arkfeld was a terror on the, like, ecosystem.
Yeah.
That was the reason we had to kill it in the first place at the end anyway, because it would have been too much for the ecosystem to handle solely because of it getting out of hand.
Yeah.
But it gaining this new strength, this new power, this new energy, this new form would have been more of a threat to the actual, like, society, based in the Forgotten World. And an actual terror as opposed to things sealed in the rock that they threw at us at the last second.
Yeah. And another thing I want to touch on, so I've told you about the Equal Dragon weapon. Frankenstein's monster basically made out of elder dragons that destroyed the old world or whatever, the ancient civilization. Mm-hmm. Now, the original concept for Equal Dragon weapon, I hate. It is just so far outlandish from what Monster Hunter is about and what it is. The Guardians tread a very, very fine line for me personally on that aspect.
Right.
But literally, if you look at a picture of the Equal Dragon weapons concept art in Arkveld's fucking head, it's the same fucking head, dude. It's got the horns, it's got the point at the back and everything. Like, they were right there, and then they had to do fucking this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I get it. They like to close their games off with a big monster, but, like, firstly, it was low rank, so, like, I would not have judged them very hard for going with a smaller monster, a physically smaller monster.
Right.
And secondly, like, Arkfeld was so much more significant. Can you imagine how much better it would have been to tie off Nada's part of the story, where it's like, holy shit, Arkveld's evolved into, like, a nigh, Black Dragon level threat. This motherfucker's gonna nuke the entire Forbidden Lands if we don't kill it, like... Mm. Like, it would have tied it up so perfectly, and...
Like, and I think what would have been even cooler about it, like, so, like, the other thing I didn't really like, and I know it was for his character, right, but the fact that he was like, no, we can't kill it, like, stop, because he felt that resonation, right? But he only barely kind of, like, understood why we had to do that.
Yeah.
Like, after it was done, right?
Right.
But think about how it would have caused him to understand the true like nature of this. If that would have happened, it would have struck fear into him. Fear in like what Arkveld became
Yeah,
because of this, power, right? Like if, this is truly what would have happened if we didn't actually like try to kill him right now,
yeah,
type thing.
and that would have worked
Yeah,
a lot
so
better. And I don't want to
yeah.
just sit here and entirely shit on Zoshia, because I will say I do enjoy the fight well enough. It's a cool fight, and I like that he transforms like partway through. I think that's cool.
Yeah, and this
Um,
is the design is cool too. Like
yeah,
let's
it's a
be
cool
real.
design. I like that it's got the angel to devil motif, and I do want to say I've seen a lot of theory speculation, and who knows if we'll ever actually have this confirmed. We waited 20 years for anything even vaguely related to ancient civilization lore. I mean,
Mm.
so who the fuck knows if they'll ever actually say what Zoshia is. But I've seen a lot of speculation that he was like a guardian version of Fatalis.
Oh yeah, yep. I
And
remember I sent you that one thing I saw on Twitter about that.
yeah, and like if there's any truth to that, going from like the angelic guardian versus the the growing tumor of the devilish like evil dragon inside of him is like a really really cool dynamic. I'm just
Hmm.
kind of sad that it was wasted on a monster like this that didn't really have a place in the story. Like
Yeah.
he just kind of fell flat.
Yep. No, agree entirely. And it sucks. Like it definitely was just like a mediocre ending to a fantastic game.
Yeah, it makes me so sad because, like I said, like their writing style, like jumping from like World to Iceborne, got a little better, but not great. It took a dip in Rise, but got a little better, and then it was great in Sunbreak. Wilds was great, and then they were like, "Hey, wouldn't it be awesome if we went back to our like 6 out of 10 cop out where we just put a big monster at the end because we got to do that?" And it's just like,
Yep.
whoa, that's cool. You didn't even finish the fucking monster. Where's his armor at?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so it's a shame. Maybe we will get like an all Mother Narwa version of Zoshia, like true Zoshia or something, and it'll be really cool and fun and have cool gear and stuff and be worth fighting. I don't know. But as of right now, as of time of recording, not a huge fan. Not world's number
Probably.
one Zoshia hater. And if I was allowed to, I'd put him below Hirabami out of spite.
No, but we got to be honest. He's
Yeah.
still at least a little tiny bit cool.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I actually enjoy fighting him when I have to. I just don't have a reason to.
Yep.
Hirabami, on the other hand, I hate this thing.
Yep.
Least favorite Leviathan. Like, don't even talk to me about this creature. So I mean, we can talk
All right,
nicely about
so
a
we're
monster.
yep. We can talk nicely about a monster, and like we're officially end game tier. This is high rank. This is where things get serious. Uh, D colon or no, not D colon. Colon D. I love you, Goku.
Dude, saying serious for Yin Kaku like in the same sentence is hilarious. This is not a serious monster at
Right.
all.
Oh, I love you, Goku.
No, I love him too.
Uh,
He's just so silly though. Like that.
yep, silly. Um, good pack monster. Admittedly, like obviously we knew it was a pack monster. It was
Yeah.
the monster that they like introduced as like it was going there were going to be packs in this game, right?
I want to say more so because no, it was more Dashugama who did that because we knew about like we didn't know about Yin Kaku until after the first beta. I don't think. No, that's not true. We knew about him from like a Comic Con teaser. Never mind.
Yeah, he's been announced for a minute.
Yeah, I don't think he introduced the idea of packs, but I think he was definitely surprised to be one because like at least the other Blangonga, Kongalala. Well, we didn't even know about Blangonga for the longest time, but Kongalala, Dashugama, like those are. We knew those are pack monsters. Ian Kutku's always been a solo guy, so seeing like 6 of them chilling in the nest was a very, very big surprise.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Yeah,
I'm
but
down for it. Like it's a
then
bunch of dumb chickens, dude. I love it.
a bunch of dumb chickens that light me on fire. Like
What's not
the
to
the fight
love?
is fun.
Yeah,
Like and it's still pretty basic. I mean, like it's an old returning bird wyvern. They don't go crazy.
yeah,
But I feel like they adjusted him well into the new system, and he's stupid and fun. And it's not like he's easy either. Like he hits like a train.
yeah. And they kept the chicken decapitator sword, which I am just thrilled by. I've always loved the name of that great sword. It's the funniest thing.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, no, definitely really really good bird wyvern. And
Yeah.
you know me, I love bird wyverns anyway.
except for the next one.
Ex I won't go so far as except for the next one because I still like that he's a bit goofy, but I definitely don't like him as much. We could just segue into him. Um, Definitely exists here.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put him all the way down in men, not bad, but I'm definitely like he can go on the bottom of exists, like right underneath Kebitris.
we are very different people because I do not like Gyps Rose, and I have never liked Gyps Rose. But I will, for you, he could go and exists at the bottom.
Yeah, I mean like you probably would you put him below Zhu? Probably. Would you put him below
Like,
Kongwala?
no. I would not
Okay,
put him below
so it's like
Kongolala, but Zulu is much more interesting to me. I don't know. I mean, I fought Gypsaros a lot in GU. He was annoying. You know, he stuns you. He used to steal your shit. He doesn't even steal your shit anymore, which is annoying. And his hit zones always kind of sucked, especially his butt area with the stupid tail.
yeah,
He was just not fun to fight in the old games, and like he's better now. Like he's got better hit zones, and I mean, it sucks he doesn't steal shit, but at least he doesn't steal shit. But like it's just like
right.
I still don't really like him. He's
Yeah,
not
no,
my
for
like
sure.
least favorite bird wyvern, but he's close. He's like bottom two for me.
Yeah, there's just like I just love the character of Bird Wyvern.
No, I mean that's fair.
Admittedly,
Like he is very silly. He's got a good personality. It's just like fighting him. I'm just like, ugh.
oh, now we get to talk about a good one. Actually, this is gonna like
Honestly, I'll let
I'll
you
get
take over on this because I've only fought her like once in this game. I like the fight, but I don't remember
I
much about it off the top of my head.
I want her in D tier.
Valid.
Um, I if anyone knows anything about me, I have been a certified Rathian hater from the beginning.
Yup.
I I never liked fighting her ever. It was always a chore.
Give me a hairy
Um,
eyeball every time I said I like Pink Rathian.
yep. Like I Rathian hater through and through, except Gold Rathian. Gold Rathian is obviously like the exception here.
She's chill.
But they changed how Rathian and Rathalos are in this game, and they made them good. Their fight is so much different.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like a lot of my Rathian experience comes from World because I did not fight Rathian much in Rise.
Yeah. She wasn't really.
And
She didn't have much of a presence in Rise, honestly. She was just kind of there
right,
because she had to be there. But
he did exactly three things:
yep,
shoot fireball,
yep,
spin in circle,
uh huh.
and hit me with tail in the air.
Oh, you forgot the most important one though, the
Oh,
pacer
what?
test.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Certified
But,
Rathian pacer test.
but like that's it. That's all she did.
Yeah,
And this one they gave her more, I don't want to say minute attacks, but it definitely feels like she's more alive in this game. She actually like doesn't do those things. It doesn't feel like she's just on a rotation timer.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like she's just, okay, I did attack A, it's time for attack B.
right.
Okay, I did attack B, it's time for attack C, and repeat.
Yeah,
Like she feels a lot more alive. Um, she also has a new fireball attack. She has like two new fireball attacks, I think, that are
yeah,
all both very good. Yeah, I just think what they did with Rathian, and I will literally put Rathalos, like just put him up there anyway. Just put him right next to Rathian. Uh, Literally, like both of those new fights are very, very good.
yes,
All of the points that I just made for Rathian are the exact same for Rathalos. They changed them just right. They made them more lively, and they gave them new roars,
yes.
which I thought was fantastic. I Of anything that they've ever done, like in terms of like bringing a monster to the next generation, I feel like that's not something I've ever seen.
It is
With it,
not super often. I think they changed some of the ones for like when World came out because it was like the new
mm,
thing. I think they updated a bunch of shit, but it
mhm.
is not like terribly common.
Yeah, the fact that they're like entirely new, like and noticeably new, and sound really, really good. Oh God, it's fantastic. They have like skyrocketed in my enjoyment tier of monsters, like just in this game alone.
Yeah, like I said, I don't really remember the Rathian fight. I think we fought her like once, and that was with like two other people, so we killed her in like 2 minutes. But I did fight Rathalos like literally just yesterday, and I really liked him a lot, like
Hmm.
more than I already liked just regular Rathalos. So if
Yep.
you're saying that Rathian's got the same shit going on, then I have no problem keeping them up here. So
Yep. Yeah, and it's the same shit. Like she still does poison with her tail. Rathalos still does poison with his feet.
yeah,
Like all that kind of shit. Like it's still the same, but it feels more alive. It definitely doesn't feel nearly as much of a chore as it used to.
yeah, that's fair.
Oh, you can go ahead with this next one. I know this is your literal child.
It is my literal child, but I am gonna say this. I mean, it's like Ebony Odegaard. Like I mean, I'm not gonna put him down to exist. I think he's better than just exists. But like, they didn't really change anything with him.
Mm,
I mean, aside from adding like the guardian shit with the wyvern milk and all that, which is cool.
mm.
Um, I like how he looks when he's all charged up. I like how he looks black and white and is really sick. But like, I kind of want to just put him in colon D. Like out of my top three favorite brute wyverns, I I
Did you
don't
really just put him above Arkveld? Thanks.
worst.
I was about to say, dude, come on.
Dude, he's literally my son. He is my child. I gave
All right, all
birth
right.
to this creature.
Okay, he's technically below it in line, but we're just gonna say they're like on the exact same level.
Fine. Yeah, but not like I I like him a lot. Still top three brute wyverns. I don't know if I like him more than Savage Devil Joe. Maybe a little bit more, but like they didn't change enough for him as a monster returning for me to really, be crazy about him in like the same way I was in like Iceborne when he was brand new. I
Hmm.
like him a lot. He's fun to fight. His gear is good. Uh, but I don't quite want to put him in S tier
Hmm.
because everyone up here is in here for a very, very specific reason. Jindahad is just all rounder good. Chattacabra is a really great starter monster. Uthduna is a really unique mechanic and works really well with it. Nersil is basically like the poster child for how to do a returning monster.
Hmm.
I, but like Fulgur Antonath, he's like I'm glad he's here. I'm glad to see him. I'm glad to fight him. But
And
he
it was
does the
definitely
exact
cool,
same thing. I mean,
right? And it was definitely cool that he was a surprise.
yes.
It was definitely cool that he was a surprise.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, don't get me wrong about that. But it's just like if they had changed more, like diversified, like how he fights instead of just copy pasting from Iceborne, I would probably be like I'd probably bump him up a bit more. But like
Right.
as he is, I feel comfortable keeping him in the colon D tier. Like
Yeah.
I like he's a solid like A plus for me. Like he's solid A plus.
Good. 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 Gravius?
You got anything to say about your your phobia down here?
He's my phobia, but I like him a lot.
Me too. They did
I
a lot of
I
justice for him.
he's definitely like high exist, slow D,
I,
like colon D.
I'd feel comfortable putting him in colon D. Like
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
know if I would put him above anything else. I might put him above like if Rathy was like down here. I might put him above her just because again I don't really remember what's going on with her super well.
Mm,
But I really really like him in this game, especially coming off absolutely hating him in GU where he was just a miserable fight. Like he's
hmm.
fun in this game and he's really cool. I like how he's just big. He's just a big dude. You turn a corner, it's like, hey, that mountain's alive.
Yeah, hey, that mountain's alive. Oh, and it's shooting a laser at me.
And it looks so good. It's so cool. Like
Yep.
he's a lot of fun. I like him a lot in this game.
Yep. No, that's it. He does sleep though, and that kind of sucks.
That does kind of suck, but I mean, like it's like he what was that? Like, telegraphs like when he's about to do like when he's about to fart out anything like Uragon does like by a mile. So
Yeah, fair, fair.
be honest, if you're getting caught in his sleep, that's kind of on you, bud.
Man,
Man,
me playing me playing super heavy slow weapons that take a million years to put away and run. Man,
and that's a skill issue. You should have equipped quick sheath.
shut up. True.
Monkey, better monkey. But is he a best monkey? Is the question the people want to know.
No, a Jarkon's right there.
That is
He
real.
goes in high exists. I think he goes. I think he goes. Yep, right there.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I like him a lot, a lot. I think his fight is really good. But it's not like great, right?
Right.
Like it's my Gaga.
Yeah, he
Uh,
leaves more of an impression on me in this game than he did in prior games for sure.
yep, for
Um,
sure. Yeah,
and the fact
he's
that
a
he's
lot of
fucking
fun.
huge, like I don't know what that's about, but I like it.
Yeah, he's definitely really big and scary.
Like I don't remember him being that big in GU, dude. Like I swear to God, he was like Conga Lala's size. Like I don't, the dude's been juicing.
Oh, excuse me. Oh goodness.
Yeah, me
Um,
too. Almost time.
yeah, no good. Gormagala.
I kind of want to put him in S tier, dude.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just flat out, like he.
I didn't want to like say it first and then like have you be like actually, but no, he's They did a fantastic job bringing him over.
He is exactly what I always wanted a modernized Gorvikala to be. Like, he is better than Sunbreaks in my opinion. I mean, like, I want to say he's like, he's better than he was in 4 and GU, but it's like, I mean, he is. Like, objectively, they took everything good about that and made it even better. Like, he just works really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
My only criticism of him is, like, the fact that he's so big and so, like, floofy with his, like, cape wings. It can be kind of hard to see what's going on sometimes. Like, he takes up a lot of the camera.
Yeah.
That can cause some problems. I won't even. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. But like otherwise, he's like, dude, like solid 10 out of 10. They did great with him and giving him like his own unique. I mean, again, I'm sad to see the question mark unknown description go away, but Demi Elder goes like insanely hard.
Yeah, and like it's like true. Like I would say,
Yeah, no,
like
definitely.
like in terms of him, like in terms of his like strength, in terms of like how he looks, like and the way he fights, the whole frenzy shit. Like we all know that like Elder Dragons are, big on their like unique mechanic that is extremely dangerous to its ecosystem.
Yeah,
Like frenzy is that. I mean, hell, we almost lost the entire ecosystem because the Dragon Torch got frenzied.
yeah. And it's
Like,
like, I mean, like, he evolves into Shigura. It's like, he's not an Elder Dragon, but, like, he's working his way up to it. Like,
yeah,
he's knocking
he's a
on the
child.
door.
Yep.
A little
Yeah,
baby boy.
super. God, he's so good, and all his shit looks good.
Yes,
Obviously,
absolutely.
it's just he's good.
And his armor's really good. I'm glad they kept the Sunbreak skills, because I really like the Frenzy Boost skill. It's a lot of fun to play with.
Yeah, that one is good.
And then our final boy, as of right now, the last monster, which, like, I say as of right now, let's be real here, when Mitsune comes out, he's probably going to be an S tier too, because
Oh
Mitsune's
yeah,
fucking fantastic.
love Mrs. Sune.
Yeah, always a great
Yeah, no,
fight,
I'll
but
just right up in there.
yeah, like,
Yep.
oh my god, keep
We
clicking that.
we already talked about a lot of like what I had to say
Yeah,
when we talked about Guardian.
yeah,
But I think in terms of like a fight, a monster design, like everything about him, I think he's just like he's one of the best monsters in the whole game. Like he's just
yeah. He doesn't quite hit for me the same way he does for you. I will
mm,
say, he's very, very like. When I say flashy, I usually mean in a good way. For me personally, his flashy is a bit over the top for my personal taste.
I understand.
But like I can like unlike with like Zoshia, I can see why people love Arkfeld so much. Like he's
Hmm.
I don't think I'd put him in like my top 5, top 3 like flagship monsters, but he is really cool. And his gear is really cool, and I mean, I want to say his story is really cool, but I mean, it's this guy's story, but like,
Hmm.
potato, whatever. Um, but, like, I can see why people liked him so much. He's definitely an S tier monster. He's just not my S tier monster personally,
Yep. No, fair. Yeah. I I think that's it. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say.
Yeah. So what do we think of the game? Shit from a butt, right? Yeah, Wilds is down here with Harambe and fucking Timu equal dragon weapon.
No, I mean game as a whole is fantastic.
Absolutely.
They like outside of like the bugs and shit that are going on right now,
Yeah.
issues with skill, like stuff like that. Like I think the game is on the verge of like the perfect Monster Hunter game.
Yeah, I will agree. I've seen some people saying that it probably need like 6 more months in the oven, and like, while I would have hated to wait that long, I can't say I entirely disagree. Um, I mean, I can't really say anything about performance issues because I can run the game perfectly fine. But bug
Yep.
wise, I've definitely seen a decent handful of visual bugs. I haven't taken the time to confirm the skill bugs, but people are saying they're there. I'm not going to call them liars for it.
Right.
Some of the like straight up just like weapon moves not working or weapon moves getting disabled because of other like palico animations and shit is just like, what, why?
Right.
Definitely some shit that should have been some ironed out before release. But like, I mean, like right now it's like a solid 9.5 out of 10 for me, and the second they get all this shit ironed out and title updates start cranking out and we get new monsters to fight, like it's gonna be like the fucking 100 out of 10, dude. It's gonna be a freaking majestic majesty of
Yeah,
a
for
video
sure.
game. I think
And
my
like
only.
the
Oh, go ahead. You
no
first.
no no go go
I
go.
was just gonna say, like, the only thing I was a little disappointed by is the open world part, because
Mm.
like like it is like big, 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 big quotes open world, but it's like I don't know. Like you can still walk between all the areas, but the only really accessible one is the one between like the Windward Plains and Scarlet Forest, and it's kind of like I don't know. Like I feel like probably right now, as technology is, it's probably still a little bit unrealistic to ask for, perfect seamless biome blending immersion. Step from one
Hmm.
area right into another. That's probably a bit much. Probably another 5-10 years down the line, maybe. But it, from the way they were talking about it, kind of felt like that's what they had achieved, and it wasn't quite yet. But like they're close. They're very
Yeah.
close. And I do
Yeah,
like
I
what we
think
got. I mean, like as is, it's great.
yeah, I think like my only other like major like complaint, and it's like kind of like it's two, but it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
Um, I feel like so obviously the beta didn't have a lot. It was one area, right?
yeah,
But I feel like I was able to spend a lot more time just in the locale,
yeah.
just doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, A, because we weren't farming for gear, like we didn't have to fight specific monsters, we weren't doing quests.
Yeah.
Like you could just like it felt like there was like the beta made it seem like the game entirely was going to be a heavy emphasis on like the actual like environmental exploration and living out in the environment and hunting what shows up. But
Yeah.
like that doesn't happen nearly as much as I wanted it to. Just because there's not a need for it.
Right.
Um, but then it also like goes into my next complaint of like the one thing multiplayer wise that I will complain about like unless they change it is that I can't if you do an environment link and you bring your friends into the same environment as you then cannot do quests. Like I don't like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that takes away from like the true like blended multiplayer experience that they were going for here. Which,
I would
I'm
agree with
not saying
that.
that the multiplayer is bad. I still think it's very well rounded for, a Monster Hunter game.
It's definitely better than what World had going on. 100%.
Exactly. But I definitely just I don't like the environment link is separate from quests. I feel like they should be the same, but
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of limitations, that they had to work with, like that kind of thing. So,
Yeah. One other thing I wasn't like conceptually I love 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 the idea of seasons. But
hmm
like in practice, like dude, I hate the fallows so much. The only area I found
hmm
that looks good with it is like the ice shard cliffs, and that's the only reason I like that is because you get clear skies. You could see the map. Like it doesn't even change anything like environmentally. Like it's not like the ice is melting or anything. It's just you can see clearly and it looks really pretty. Everywhere
Yep.
else, it's just like hideous. It's just
Yeah.
like I don't mind the stormy stuff, and I really like the plenty, especially in the Windward Plains. Like I love how it's like a Sahara kind of Africa biome instead of just like the usual desert.
hmm
But then, like 2/3 of the time, it's just a fucking nightmare dune world, and sometimes it has lightning, and it's just like I don't want to look at this. Especially when you spend so much of the early game in the fallow. It's just like I can see why people might drop the game just because of that, because it's like this is butt ugly for like the first third of the game, And it's like not I get why they started with the fallow for the game story, but like it in practice probably not the greatest of ideas, admittedly.
Yeah. But no, otherwise, Wilds is virtually perfect.
Yeah,
Like it's so 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 good.
it's a certified banger, certified hood classic.
Yep, certified banger.
Yeah, no, that's I don't have anything else to say at this point for right now. I don't think. Any
It was fun.
closing thoughts? Anything else you want to say to the
Uh,
world?
no, not really.
No.
The Play Wilds, our tier list is objectively correct, so unfortunately any other opinions are completely wrong. So
Yeah, no, that sounds about right. Yeah, no worries. We know everything, and you all know absolutely nothing. You are just
exactly.
little fleas beneath our feet. Kneel before us. Blah blah blah.
Exactly.
We smart, you dumb. Blah. Yeah.
Blah.
If I had cool exit music, this is where it would go. Haha, video's over. Get out of here.
Well,
Bye.
well, 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 well.